Hello everyone, welcome to TextureMyth. In this session, we are going to talk about another example for template driven form where we will be discussing how to access form object inside a HTML using myForm or ngForm, or you can say using template reference variable. So in this session, we will discuss the entire process, like how we can submit the form and then using the template reference variable, how to access the form object inside HTML body. But before we proceed further with this session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow it sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic. Because for time being, we are just mainly focusing on how to use template driven form to access the form, to access the object inside a form body. But prior to that, you should know what is a template driven form, what are the differences and the basic definition that we have already covered. And for that, you can refer the TextureMyth digital course book, which is freely available in the description box. So from there you can take a reference and you can try to learn from more than 3000 plus free resources, which is available in both Hindi as well as English language. So as for your convenience, you can go through it. Okay. All right. So now what we will do, we will simply write here one logic to create the form, and then we will try to implement that form inside a application by defining the required prerequisite thing in a component.ts file. So basically, like what I'm going to do, I'm going to create one form here, but prior to that, let's see what all things we have already noted down. So first is the main heading that shows Angular course by TextureMyth. Then we have second heading that shows template driven form example in Angular, accessing form object inside a HTML using template reference variable. Okay, that is myForm, ngForm. Then we have one horizontal row, and after that we will write here further lines of code. Okay, and this horizontal row will help us to separate out the actual content with the form. Now here I will write form. To assign the template reference variable, we will write here hash myForm, okay, equal ngForm, and then we will assign ng submit here. So ng submit, then we will simply write here equal on submit, and then the form name, that is my form. Okay, so this thing is ready. Now let me correct this thing, because this is case sensitive. So if you write something with capital, it should be declared in the capital only. Now for after this, we will define the fields that we want to capture. So first label is for the name. So here I will write name. Then we will write here input tag, input field, and in input field we will write type as text, and then we write here name. In name we will write name itself, and then ng model. Perfect. So this thing is ready. Similarly, we will add for age. Okay, but here we will add br tag 2 times so that it will break the line if it is needed. Okay, so here next label we will put for the age. So we will write here age, and then the input field we will define type as text. Then we will write here name again, and this time we will write it as age, and ng model. Perfect. So this thing is ready. Now after this, we can submit, we can provide the button to submit this form. So for that, we will add one button. Here I will write submit, and its type is also submit. So I will write here type as submit. Perfect. So this thing is ready. Now after this, what we will do, we will show the required data to user as a live data form. Okay, so maybe I can write a comment for you here so that you can understand what we are going to do here. Like we will be showing form values directly from my form. So this is the agenda of this code. Now here I will write h3 for heading 3, where I will write live form data. Okay, and after this live form data, we will write here p tag for paragraph, and one by one we will print all the statuses. So let's put the heading as form status, and after this form status we will define, but before form status let me print one thing, that is because we have mentioned live form data na, so we should write here curly braces 2 times. Inside this we will write here my form dot value. Okay, and it should be in small case, so make sure it is in small case, otherwise it won't work. Then a pipe for JSON. Okay, so that thing we are supposed to write here, and we will also import JSON pipe to use it. You can see it is recommending to import JSON pipe, so that we will import but later. For now we will just design the HTML part. Now here we will define the p tag, and in p tag we will simply mention form status. Okay, and then one by one we will define all the statuses like valid, and here I will write double curly braces form my form dot value. Fine. Similarly we will copy this to save the time and print paste it multiple times for invalid, touched and dirty. So let's fix it invalid, and remember one thing, I think here also we need to change it to valid, and it should be in small case, so make sure you write it in a small case, otherwise it will throw the error. Here also instead of value we will write here invalid with small I. Okay, like this. Then the third thing we will print here touched, so touched, and here also touched with a small t. Okay, then we will define here the dirty, and if you don't know about this touched dirty, don't worry, like this thing also we will discuss in detail in the upcoming sessions, but for now we are just using it. I'll show you what output we will get. Actually we will be getting some boolean values that are very useful when we are dealing with the validation kind of thing. Okay, so that I will show you in the upcoming session. Perfect. So form is almost ready. We just need to import the required thing, like one thing for JSON. You can see JSON pipe is needed, so that we will add. Also for ng form, like we should import a forms module, and also we are supposed to create this method. So all these things we will do in app.component.ts file. So let's go there. Firstly I will add forms module, then I will add JSON pipe. Okay, so make sure that it is imported here as well. You can see it is automatically imported because I press enter by writing these things. Okay, fine. Now the next thing is we will define the method, and we will console all the values in console log as well. Okay, so for that let's create the method which is on submit, and here we will write form and colon ng form directive, so ng form. Make sure to press enter here so that it will import it. Okay, and I think we made it as on submit. Yeah, it is fine. Then opening closing curly braces, and inside this one by one we will print the values. So console dot log. Here firstly we will mention one message, that is form submitted. Okay, then we will print the other messages, so console dot log, and here I will write form value colon, again this should be in a quote, so let me put it inside a quotes, otherwise it won't work. Okay, and after a comma we will write here form dot value. Okay, let's copy paste it just to save the time, so that we can print all the required values. So for value, then valid, then one for controls, and if you want invalid and all, that you can also add, but for now let's make it easy. So here I will write for valid. Okay, and here also I will make it as valid, and then the third one is for controls, which will help us to show all the controls. So controls, perfect. And here also we will add controls. Make sure to add controls, not control. Okay, and now we are good with the application, so let's run it and see how it goes. So I will simply write here ng serve -- open, enter. After pressing enter, it will take few seconds and then it will open the browser, but it still shows some error. Error on what? On submit. So let's see if the name is same or not. So it should be matched with this method. So let's copy paste. Yeah, now it's fixed. There was some case sensitivity issue, but it is now fixed. So you can see Angular course by TextureMate, template driven form example in Angular, accessing form object inside HTML using my form. Maybe we can change this heading also to capital, otherwise you might make mistake. Okay, ng form, name, age, and this is a live data. So you can see object is blank as of now because we haven't submitted anything. After button also there should be some BR tag before button so that it breaks the line. Yeah, now it looks good. And here if I write, let's say TextureMate, so you can see it is automatically updating the things because it is live. And if I change age to 15, so you can see form status valid as true, invalid as false, touched as true, and dirty as true. Okay, but if you check the inspect, you will find that no console message is printed yet. Why? Because we haven't submitted it. So once user click on the submit button, all the values are submitted and also everything is in console. You can see form submitted, form values. So these are the values. You can expand and you can see it. Form valid is true, and also form controls are shown with proper detail. Okay, so yeah, this is exactly what we were expecting from this example. So I hope this session is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching TextureMate.